Good afternoon, everybody. What is going on? I am Jeff GrantMEDIA. In today's real user review, we're going to be taking a look at the Rushfaster 22L EDC Backpack. We're also going to talk about the Essential Tech Kit and the pencil case. We will make a separate video that goes a little bit more in depth in both of those two products because I don't want to make this video like 45 minutes long, but we will talk about them throughout this video because I did EDC them inside this bag while I was testing this out. But the disclaimer, Rushfaster did send me both the backpack, the pencil case, and the tech kit for free, but all the opinions in this video are mine and mine alone. I did not share this content with Rushfaster prior to publication. They will see this when you do. I've now been testing this, my average 4 to 6 weeks or so, and I feel like I got a pretty good handle on the pack. I've used this as an EDC, my everyday pack. I've used this a day trip to New York City, so I definitely put it through its paces. I got a pretty good feel for how the bag works. So we're gonna go ahead and start with a bit of a spec rundown of all the products. The Rushfaster 22L EDC backpack comes in at $120 USD. Currently, the pack is available in black only. It has a padded 16-inch laptop sleeve, a hidden AirTag pocket, a top quick access pocket. It features AquaGuard YKK zippers and is constructed from blue sign fabrics. The Rushfaster Essential Tech pouch comes in at $50 USD. It is available in green, black, and white. The pouch features 3 separate cable loops, an internal zipper pocket, a plethora of internal organization, YKK zippers, and is also made of blue sign fabrics. The Rushfaster pencil case comes in at $30 USD. It is also available in green, black, and white. It is constructed from a 420D Cordura, features YKK zips, and just like its two brothers, it features blue sign fabrics. Now, if you're in the US and you go to rushfaster.com, all of the prices you see are displayed in USD. Rushfaster is an Australian-based company, so if you go to the Australian site, you will see the prices displayed in AU. If you go to the US site, it will be displayed in USD, and I believe they might have one other, maybe the Canadian one. They did tell me in an email, but I now forget because it was right at the beginning of me testing that it will automatically display the prices for the country of origin that you are in. So if you go to rushfaster.com, the prices you see are USD, so don't get tricked because the US dollar is worth more than the Australian dollar, so the conversion usually we end up coming out on top, but the prices you see will be displayed in USD, not in AUD. Okay, with that little note out of the way, we're gonna go ahead and start with the negatives. And I'm not even sure I can really call this a negative because I'm being quite nitpicky. This is a well thought out, well designed bag, but it does have a pretty slim tapered design to it. So if you look at the pack, it definitely widens up at the bottom and it tapers out here at the top. So when you're carrying, you kind of have to load all of your bulkier items at the bottom or the bag is just simply not going to close. So you definitely have to be mindful when packing this bag out. Anything bulky, you're definitely going to want to pack down here in the bottom of the bag because you're going to want all your thin items up top. Now I currently do not have a laptop in this bag, but there is a tablet in here. So if I did put my laptop in here, I'm pretty sure I would be maxed out for space at the top of the bag because I do have a little bit of slack here now, but if I put that extra laptop in there with that extra inch or so of thickness, it's definitely going to take up the rest of the extra space I have at the top. But there's still a lot of room down at the bottom. Now, honestly, I didn't mind this thinner tapered look because it definitely helped me to reevaluate my EDC. Like a lot of you, I always go through, I kind of dial in my EDC, and then I get everything in my bag, and I continue to use that bag, especially if I'm testing a bag and I'm using it for a couple of weeks. It doesn't end the way it started. Stuff gets added, I might pick up another pouch or just randomly start sticking stuff in there. It's winter time, I probably have an extra hat in here. No, I took my extra hat. I had an extra hat in here. I had an extra schmog in here, a bandana. So I had a whole bunch of extra stuff in here, but it filled up super, super quick. So it did help me to reevaluate my EDC. So I was able to remove all the extra junk, and I actually took one complete pouch out of rotation. I found that I had a pouch, I call it my tool pouch, but I had a lot of redundancy. The only thing that was really in there that wasn't in another pouch was my Leatherman, and my Leatherman easily fit inside of, I believe I put it inside my Green 136 tuna tin, and I had it in this like Rush 511 knockoff pouch. So I basically had that, a pair of scissors, and like more Sharpies, a flint and steel. I think I had a couple Allen keys because I usually carry 4mm Allen keys with me, which I think I just lost now that I think about it. I saw one on the floor at work as I walked out the door, and I think it fell out of this bag today. 4mm Allen key, I try to keep it on me all the time. If you're not aware, I am actually a corporate videographer by trade, and just about everything is a 4mm Allen key. So I have them in like all of my bags because I always need them, and I'm fairly certain I just lost the one out of this bag today. So I'm gonna have to look for that on Monday morning. But yeah, being the slight negative, I'm gonna call it a slight negative because it did help me to reevaluate my carry, which is great. You need to do that. You need to do that more often than you think, because what you think you need changes quite often, and then you end up using or not using things, and you need to take them out. So the little bit slimmer design of this bag definitely helped me to reevaluate and cut down on some extra junk that I've been carrying for years. I've been carrying that toolkit literally for years, and it was just completely redundant. I just took the Leatherman out, put it in a different case, and I basically had every other tool that was in there in another pouch already. So I know redundancy is usually good, but when you're moving bags often, redundancy could be bad because now I'm just carrying and taking up space of stuff that I've got actually 2 or 3 of in the pack. So it did help me to eliminate a little bit of clutter in my pack. Now the next negative is going to be something that I kind of harp on in quite a bit of bags, and that is the grab handle. Now this one's not too bad. It is a 1-inch thick piece of webbing, but there's just a single piece of webbing, so at least it's not folded over. I hate when they take it and fold it over to make it be a little bit padded, but it really just makes it thinner and it digs into the hand more. So this wasn't terrible. Being a 22-liter pack, it's not totally loaded out with a ton of stuff, but like I said, I do carry a lot of extra junk, especially in the wintertime like it is now, so I'll end up with a lot more things in the bag than I do need, so it does end up having quite a bit of weight. So when I'm carrying it and it just has that 1-inch piece of webbing, it could dig into the palm of the hand. Like right now, it's not too bad, but I know if I load this bag up with a few extra things, I will end up seeing a little bit of discomfort. Now, if I'm wearing a glove, as you can see right now I am not, the gloves do help with that, but this is a fairly thin piece of webbing. I personally like 1.5 inches. 2 inches is great, but sometimes it's overkill. You don't quite need 2 inches. 1.5 inches I find to be almost the perfect width for these grab handles. It gives you just the right amount of coverage, so it displaces it across the palm a little bit better. It doesn't quite dig into the palm, and it really helps you, especially with a heavier load. And there we have it, our like partial negative and then the one other real negative. And again, that's something I harp on with a lot of bags. A lot of bags have that 1-inch webbing. They do it for a cleaner look and to save space and weight, but I find when you're trying to use it, it's a little underwhelming because it's just a little too small, and sometimes it can hurt the palm of the hand. If I have like, you know, a 10-15 liter pack, an inch piece of webbing is generally okay, but anything 20 plus, I think you need 1.5 inches to cover a little bit more of the palm of your hand. Now, the points of note. And really, I kind of only have one. It's something that people commented on my unboxing video. There are no outside water bottle pockets to the back. So this bag does feature an internal water bottle pocket. We will get into it, but it does feature 0 outside water bottle pockets. Now, as an EDC pack that I'm taking to the office every day, yeah, I don't like that because I like the exterior water bottle pockets. I don't like to put water inside my bag, especially if I have tech in there. Even if it's a solid sealed bottle, if it's hot, the bottle can sweat if it's cold inside, so it could always lead to some condensation or the potential for it to spill. I feel like if it's on the outside of the bag, it just gives my computer, my hard drives, any of the tech I have in there, the paper products I have in there, a little bit more of a chance of survival than if I had it inside the bag. So I personally never carry water inside the bag if there's tech in the bag. So I did use it when I was in New York City to carry some water, but I had no tech in here. I'm sorry, I had a battery bank in here, but the battery bank I'm not really concerned with. But my hard drive, I have my external hard drive and all of my jump drives and with all of my data so I can work remotely if I need to. I have all of my stuff on an external hard drive and memory cards and stuff so I can work remotely if I have to, even if I'm not carrying my tablet or my laptop with me. So I always have some sort of tech in here when I'm EDCing a pack, and I don't carry water in the bag. So one thing that people said is that there are no water bottle pockets outside the bag. It's a big downer for them, and for an EDC, it's a little bit of a downer for me but as a urban carry pack, it actually worked out really, really well. And that's where we're gonna start with our very first positive. The day after I got this bag in the mail, I loaded it up and I took it on a family trip to New York City. And I will say that this was the perfect city bag to carry. There is nothing on the outside to get caught. The only thing dangling are the 2 shoulder straps and the grab handle at the top. There is only 1 zipper for the main compartment and 1 QA pocket tucked away nice and neat at the top. So this was a great bag to have in the city because I had nothing to get caught on. We did not take the train, but this would be a great bag if I was on the train. But we were walking around Manhattan. We were walking around Times Square. It was incredibly packed, incredibly crowded. So the form factor of the bag fit really, really well. And it also blended in nicely because it was black and it didn't have anything flashy dangling off it that I can get caught on, or that a thief could maybe have a little bit of an opportunity to grab, because it was also Christmas time. So the city was even more crazy than normal. This was an amazing city bag. So for a city pack, this is like my #1 pick. Next time I'm going to the city, this is definitely going to be the bag I take, whether that be New York City or Philadelphia. This is probably going to be my city bag from now on, because this just fit in amazingly. And because it does have that 1 internal water bottle pocket, I can put at least 1 water bottle organized in there, but I'm usually carrying for Hazel, my wife, and myself. So usually I have 2 water bottles, 1 bigger one for me and my wife, and then 1 for Hazel. So Hazel's will go in the internal water bottle pocket. Mine and my wife's will just go in the back. But this pack worked out amazingly for New York City. This is a great city bag. The next positive has to do with this nice QA pocket at the top here. Now it does feature a YKK AquaGuard zipper, so I'm not worried about rain or anything coming down on it or getting anything in there, but it does open nice and wide, so it is pretty easily accessible. But inside here, there's actually, it's hard to see, but there's a divider. So there are 2 sides to this QA pocket. That is a first for me. A QA pocket is usually just a dump pocket, but this actually has a bit of a divider. So on the back here, I actually keep field notebook, and then face it down, I have my work ID, and I also have this extra carabiner that I usually would lash to the outside of the bag, but because there's no place to lash it, I just throw it in the QA pocket. So I still have my carabiner. And to be honest, I only really threw it in there so I don't lose it for the next time I switch packs. I want to have it with me and not stick it on a shelf somewhere and completely forget where I put it. And then on the front of the QA pocket, I have some change, some guitar picks and whatnot, and one of these old, super old BO Gear Sharp Sacks. And then I have my earbuds, and always need hand sanitizer. And that's what I keep in my QA pocket. And I love that it's divided so I can keep my flatter items in the back so I know where they are. If I put this flap up, I keep my flat items in the back. So I like them in the back because it lays across my back, so I put the flat items back here so I have nothing bulky. Even though there's a fairly decent back panel here, I don't have anything pushing out into my back. That's why the flat items are on the back side. And then on the front side is where I'm sticking my bulkier items. So I don't really call it bulky. I mean, it's hand sanitizer with a little bottle. It's not that big. And then my earbuds, and of course, so I don't forget stick that in the back too, my carabiner. But I find this QA pocket to be very, very helpful, very, very useful, because it has a nice wide opening to it. I hate when they're just a little guy so you can barely get your hand in there, but it has a nice wide opening and it's organized in there. So it's not just a dump pocket. I can actually put some things in here and organize it so I know where they're at when I need them. Now, because there's not much to the front of the bag, one other thing that I want to point out that shows that there's not too much. They have this minimal piece of branding right here. It's just this Rushfaster branding. It's their logo. I think it's plastic. I'm not sure. It's either plastic or a piece of aluminum, but it's nice. It doesn't get in the way. It's pretty unobtrusive. I mean, honestly, it blends in so well that if I was at a distance, you probably wouldn't even see that there's branding on the bag at all. But I like it. It's got a matte finish, so it blends in with the exterior of the bag. And yeah, you don't really notice it. I love minimal branding on a bag. Now, The back panel, it's pretty nice. It's actually very well padded and very comfortable. I didn't write the spec down, but I believe this is a 210B backing, and it has, again, a nice back panel. It's not too thick on it, but it's definitely comfortable, and it's very, very comfortable for carrying all day long in the city. It is the same backing and padding in the shoulder straps. They are nice and flexible, but they are fairly thick, and these, again, are very comfortable for wearing all day long. Now, one other thing we should note is too that the hardware is all machined aluminum, so it's no plastic parts that are going to break, and they do hold really, really well. I had no slippage in the adjustment points of the bag. And then we do also have a Hapalon loop on the left shoulder strap that you can use to clip things like, you know, sunglasses to. Now, what do I have in the bag and what do I like about the inside? So I do like, this is a almost full clamshell. It's like a 3/4 clamshell. So it stops, you can see a pleat on either side of the bag here. That's where the zipper ends. So we do get a fairly good opening to the bag. So I like that because it still kind of helps keep the shape. You can see nothing spilled out. One other thing that I did forget to mention in my points of note is that I wish there was a second zipper pocket right here. I'm coming off of using like a GR1 and my North Seeker before that, and I like that there's 2 zipper pockets on the front flap. I find the bottom one is very useful for things that I carry all the time, but are pretty thin, so I like to keep track of them because now they're just bouncing around in here and I can't find the other one. It's in here. There, it's down here. I like to keep these thin items also in a zipper pocket so they don't kind of just migrate someplace in there. So I wish there were two of these zipper pockets on the front flap, upper one and a bottom one. It would still, if they put it at that fold, the bag would still fold open, no problem, and it would just give a little bit more organization to the bag. But I digress. That is the one point of note that I completely forgot to mention a little bit earlier, so we got it out of the way now. Inside the bag, I love this olive colorway. I love olive. It's probably my favorite color of all time. It just looks great. I love the offset of the black and the olive. I just think it looks super, super cool. So we have our pencil case in here. We have our Essential Tech kit in here. We have my sardine tin and my tuna tin from Green Room 136. We have my Skinneth Solutions cupcake and my pound cake. We have this pack that is from Riveted Oaks Designs on Etsy. Inside here is like I think there's a buff, and I keep like a collapsible tote bag if I need to open anything else with the tote bags. It's not in here right now. It's on the floor at work because I used it and forgot to bring it home, so I gotta grab that on Monday. Then we have my garage built gear. I forget exactly what this pouch is called, but I love this. This is my admin case. I got everything in here. And then we have, oh, here's the buff. So I don't know what's in here. There's things in here, I forget what's in here then. There's a carabiner and something else in there. So we got a buff and a handkerchief, and there's a tablet in here somewhere. There's a tablet in my laptop kit, case, sleeve, whatever you want to call it. And then right now, as an EDC, because I don't carry water bottles inside because I have my tablet and my tech kit in here, I'm using the water bottle pocket for my first aid kit, and I actually had these 2 things in there, but I used this and probably just threw it back in the bag. So that's what I'm using that for. And we have our zipper pocket that I just talked about and forgot about, where we have cortisone cream for those itchy spots on the wrist that we get in the winter. An additional little notebook that is, you know, it's completely empty, but I like to carry extra notebooks. This one is my travel journal. I write notes about places I visit in here, if I should go back, if I liked it, any businesses that I like to check out. So I highly recommend, if you journal, I highly recommend that you also keep a separate little journal just for traveling. It's just notes. It's just notes about places I visited. Again, if it's something that you should check out again, if it's a place that has absolutely nothing going on for it and I never need to go back, I could say, hey, I think I was in that town, let me flip through. Yeah, I was there on this date, and yeah, there was nothing to do there. Or, hey, yeah, I was there on this date and there was these two or three awesome shops or place to eat. So yeah, check them out again. But I like to keep a little travel journal. That's what this is. So that's my loadout for my bag. Now, one other thing I mentioned in the specs is that there's an AirTag pocket in this bag. And that is located right here. It's very shallow. It's maybe 2 inches deep, and it's on the, if you're looking at it, the right side of the bag. So it's just a little place, a little stash pocket, throw your AirTag in there. I do not have an AirTag, so there's nothing in here right now. And it's just a tiny little pocket, so I haven't used it for anything, but if I could think of anything to use it for, yeah, I'll stick it in there and I'll let you know what that is. But overall, the inside of this bag is simple, but it's very nice, it's very clean, and even though I wish there was one extra pocket here, it's actually well organized. So I can fit my tablet, I could fit my laptop. Again, it is definitely bigger at the bottom, so I put all of my bulkier items down here and my flatter items up top, so you have to be mindful how you pack it, but I can fit everything in here. And the water bottle pocket is deep. It goes from about here to the bottom of the bag, so it takes up about half of the length of the bag. So it's pretty substantial. You don't have to worry about it tipping inside the bag if you have like a 750 milliliter bottle in there, because they're fairly tall, but it's going to fit in here nicely and it's not going to tip over in here. Another positive is that the laptop sleeve is floating. It's only floating by about a ½ inch to an inch, but it is floating. But the bottom of the bag is also padded. So you have a little bit of float and then the bottom is padded, so you have some extra protection for those times you're setting it down on a hard surface. And I say this all the time, be mindful when you're setting your bag down if you have any electronics in there. You don't want to just drop it or slam it, even if you have a floating laptop sleeve, even if you have a padded bottom, because if you have enough stuff in there, something inside the bag, if you have something heavy in there, could always rock back and jostle when you put it down and hit the laptop and potentially crack your screen or ruin your computer or your tablet. So always be mindful when you're setting your bag down if you have tech in here, because you want to be careful. I mean, you paid a lot of money for these things, you use these things often, you want to take care of them. We also have our Rushfaster tech kit and our pencil case. We're going to talk about the pencil case first because I didn't use it too much. There's not really anything in here. I have the pen that I use most of the time and a spare pen in here. That's it. I don't have anything else in here. So I love the interior. It has this olive interior. It also has some nice Rushfaster branding on the inside. This is very well built, very well made. There's a divider in the middle that you could put like your tech pencil in the middle and then put your other writing implements on either side. And it's nice. It's got a slim profile to it. It's just a little bit bigger than my pen, so I can fit like, because this pen's a little bit bigger than that one, so I could fit a few different size pens in here. I'd be able to fit Sharpies in here. Again, it's really well made, and it's white, and it's been bouncing around inside that backpack since the day I've been using it, and it still looks good. So even the white cordura on the outside, it's holding its color really well. It's not getting very dirty. And the reason I honestly don't use this very often is because I have all of my writing implements inside my garage built gear, which I have this on me all the time. There's stuff in here that I need all the time, and there's a big organizer in here that has like 3 or 4 different color Sharpies, fine points, ultra fine points, and I also have mechanical pencils and pens in here. So like all of my writing implements are in here. They've been in here, they're already organized in here. So honestly, if I didn't have this, I would probably use this a lot more because I am an analog person. One of the things I didn't show you inside the bag is because I had it on the side. It's my notebook. It's an actual paper notebook, and I write in this quite often. So I do carry a bunch of pens and writing implements with me because I like paper. I prefer paper. I'll take notes in my phone, but I actually much prefer to write things down as opposed to type them into my phone. So I do have quite a bit of pens and Sharpies and stuff in here, but if I didn't use this, I would definitely be using the pencil case more. But the pencil case is very well built. It's very nice. I just honestly didn't have the biggest use for it because everything that I would stick in here, I've already got in here. And because I will need to carry this anyway, the other things that are in here, I didn't take them out because, again, I'm going to have this anyway, and I know where everything's at. So it's just for my own mental sanity, for knowing exactly where my things are when I need them, I just left them alone here. But the tech kit, on the other hand, this I will say, I have been on a hunt. My tech kit that I have been using for years is like an $8 to $12 piece of junk from Amazon. It's a no-name brand. I can't even find it anymore. I haven't even found anything similar. Usually you can find the exact same thing branded under like 50 different manufacturers on Amazon, but I can't even find it anymore. But it's not good quality, but the form factor of it is great. It's just like this rectangle, and when I do the full-on breakdown of this, I'll show it to you. It's just like a rectangle, and it's not even perfect, but the shape of it fits perfectly in most of my bags, and I have been on the hunt for years for an actual quality tech kit, and I have not been able to find it. This is the closest thing that I have come to it. It's a little thicker because there's more organization in here, so even empty, it's probably would be a little thicker, but this has a similar footprint. It's a little wider. I wish this was maybe like you see where the zipper comes, maybe that big, so maybe like an inch and a half or so more narrow, and then it would be absolutely perfect for me. But this is great. I love this tech kit. I love when I open it up. I have the organization. It opens up. Look at that, bouncing it around. I lost my my one jump drive, but opening it up, I have my wired pieces here, so I can put an SD card. I got some jump drives. I got a little pocket here that I got some business cards in. I've got a zipper pocket here that I'm keeping some cables in so they don't get all over the place. And I have on here, we have 3 individual pockets, or actually 5 individual pockets. When you pull it open, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pockets in here. And on the other side, we have my hard drive. I got another field notebook I just stuck in here. This was gonna be for anything like notes on what's on what SD card or hard drive files. That's what this is for. We have this nice long case where I can fit my Lacy 2 terabyte drive, a field notes, and then there's also 2 more pockets on the back here. So this thing is great. This is the closest thing to the perfect tech kit that I have found ever. Again, I like the shape of the one that I've been using, that junk one, and this is the closest thing to that shape and the closest thing to usefulness of that. I just, if this was like an inch and a half narrower, this would be it. This would be my ultimate, this would be basically what I've been dreaming about, I've had in my head for years. Oh, and there is also a zipper pouch on the outside, which I don't think I have anything in right now. No, and it is padded. This is also padded on the outside, so you could fit something in there. I would probably throw like some cables if I was traveling. My charger cable I'd probably put on the outside so it'd be easier, quicker, accessible, and everything. And all, I forgot to mention too, all of the bags, the pouches, they all have Hapalon pull tabs that are branded. It's really hard to see. It's black on black, but they are branded Rushfaster. And everything feels really, really nice. I believe everything's like a 420D blue sign Cordura. It all feels great. It's all holding up really, really well. I like this tech kit a lot. This is the closest thing that I've come to what I've been looking for eternity. So I'm not going to switch out of this. I'm going to keep using this. I'm definitely going to keep using this. I'll do a more in-depth breakdown of this tech kit in another video. But do I think the Rushfaster 22-liter EDC pack is worth your $120 USD? And yeah, this is a great bang for the buck. For $120, this is a phenomenal buy. This is really, really nice construction. It's very useful. The only thing that I personally would have liked to see, and I know a couple of you other people out there would like to see, would be some exterior water bottle pockets. But if you live in the city, this is like the bag that you want. It's incredibly comfortable. It doesn't stand out in the crowd, yet it's quality. The guys at Rushfaster have been in the game for a long time. They got their own YouTube channel. They review gear. They sell gear. They know what they're doing. So they took their time designing this. They put a lot of thought into it, and I think it's a hell of a buy at 120 bucks. I've got a lot of bags. I've had a lot of bags, more bags than I can ever count in my lifetime, and I've had bags that have cost way more money than 120 bucks that have been absolute dog shit. And honestly, this is a steal at $120. I probably would price this closer to the between $150 $200 price range for the quality you're getting out of this bag and the craftsmanship, the thought that's gone into it. There's a few things that I would change, but ultimately, yeah, I think this is a really good buy at 120 bucks. This is a phenomenal bag. I mean, I live with a dog and a cat and a 5-year-old, and you can see, I mean, I got like one tiny little, I don't even know if it's gonna come across, there's a tiny little white scuff mark on the bag, but like this material, it just sheds everything. Back panel's really comfortable for everyday carry, for walking around the city, for schlepping around everything that comes with walking around the city, all the stuff you buy, especially in your city with a 5-year-old at Christmas time. It worked out really, really well. So, I mean, if you're in the city, this is the bag for you. If you're EDCing, this bag was great. I mean, it definitely helped me to rethink my carry and eliminate some stuff that I've been lugging around for years that I didn't need to carry. It helped me get rid of a lot of redundancy. Like, I guess I should say over redundancy, because I found I had multiple, I had like 3 or 4 Bic lighters in my bag in different cases. So now I have 2 Bic lighters in my bag, and I got rid of 2 of them that were in a heavier, bigger, bulkier case. So the slimmer taper design, even though I said it's a bit of a negative, it definitely helped me to rethink my carry. So if you're thinking about it, yeah, snag one. It's a great price. I'm gonna go ahead and say, once these have been out for a while, the price is probably gonna start to slowly creep up because this bag is still relatively new. It's only been out for a couple of months. So I would say by like this time next year, it's definitely going to be a couple pennies more than 120 bucks USD. So snag one now because it's definitely worth the price point. It's definitely, yeah, I keep saying definitely. I know I say that a lot. I say it a lot in all my videos, but this bag is worth $120. I would say it's worth more than $120. So snag one now before Rushfaster realizes that and jacks the price up on you. So yeah, this is gonna be JGM approved. So if you like this video or any of my other videos, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Smash that big red button and ring that bell right next to it so you get notifications next time I post a brand new video. Good night.